Alright guys, welcome to another video, Western Sharpies RC. Glad you could join me for this little video here. Kind of an instructional, maybe a clarification video here on some of these parts that I've 3D printed and finally got around to posting them for sale on my Facebook page. So I thought I'd make a little video here and go over them in a bit of detail because I expect there to be maybe some questions here that hopefully this video will help answer, like as far as how to install it and kind of what they look like up close. The details of the doors and all that. Mainly the door and door frame setup. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of this upgrade and this video. But I do have some other little piddly bits that I've printed as well that I'm going to be offering for sale on my pages. So I thought I'd show those in a bit of detail as well, like the little fuel tank here and the air plate and the wing plates and some cross members and of course the air brakes, which you've seen before. But all that stuff will be available on my Facebook page. So if you got any questions, leave a comment down below. But the door and door frame setup, I thought it'd be important to make a little video on here because it did require quite a bit of fabrication, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that because I know everybody's skill level is a little different, and I just thought I'd be kind of clear and go over everything a little thorough just to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into when you get this. The last thing I want is anybody to spend all that money and get this and then realize that it's not for them and then maybe mess something up or just think that they can throw it in a box like it's Amazon and just return it, because it's not how it is over here. It's more like Craigslist, right, where you know, all sales are final, right? So that's what this video is about. Hopefully this helps answer a lot of questions, but I do want to show you guys how to remove the handles here, because it's more than likely you're going to want to paint this entire setup, the doors, like I've done on mine. Of course, you're not going to get it like I've done mine, but hopefully those build series videos gives you some ideas. But this is how you're going to receive it. I've got this old version here that I just want to show you. I'm going to use this as an example to kind of show you how I mounted the little marker lights in mine, but I'm not going to include those. I'll include them, but I'm not going to have them installed on the little holes. You'll have to do all the honing out yourself because I want to kind of leave it that way for the customer to do, because some guys might not want to use these lights. They might want to use something different. So that, and plus after you paint it too, I mean, the paint will kind of bung up the holes a bit. So that way I printed them on the smaller side. That way you can kind of hone them out yourself. But just keep in mind, that's another thing I want to mention, very important. You don't just you know, drill the heck out of it, because if you over drill it, and if you do use these true scale RC ones, you don't really want them kind of wobbling around in there. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can add a dab of CA glue to hold them in there, but just take your time, slowly hone it out. Keep checking, because you want this to be a nice tight fit. Kind of just got it going a little bit, but just so you guys can kind of see what it's going to look like. I mean, if you want to see what they look like on my flatbed trailer, you can see that. But like I said, just slowly hone it out so that these fit nice and snug, and then you don't have to worry about it looking cockeyed or anything. So same with the little marker lights. And there'll be a few different options as well. If you want to save a few bucks and just kind of go for the printed version without any lights, because you know this does add to the cost. These are the ones that I'm going to be providing. And I really like these here because they're a little different than your typical little 3mm LED bulbs, which are a little bit different. They got the little lip on the bottom side, whereas these ones here I got from a company called DigiKey. The lips on the top side, and because they're quite thick, you can't really install them from the back side. So just to show you what they look like. And I like that they have that little bit of black on them there. Gives it a little bit of detail. So when you hone them out, same thing. Don't over hone them, otherwise it'll fall right through the hole, right? So just keep that in mind. Same thing with the marker lights, just nice and easy. Obviously a smaller drill bit, but you'll figure it out. And then how you wire it up, totally up to you. There you can kind of see I've got mine ready to go. I'm going to be using this piece here on my Intercontinental Express trailer that I got right up there. I assume it'll fit on there because I think the bodies of those trailers are the same. But anyway, just so you know, that's the one you're going to be getting, or the one that I'm listing for sale on my Facebook page. The only difference is I didn't 3D print the little bezel on there. I just, like I said, I'm going to be using these. I think these look a lot nicer. So, but yeah, if you do decide not to maybe pick up these lights, like I said, it does add to the cost. I think I paid $2 each Canadian for these. So, you know, you factor that in. There's $10 there in lights for the marker lights, and another. These are about $12. So there's almost $25 just in lights. So it does all add up. And I mean, this is just kind of me validating why this costs what it does. Not to mention, this piece just came off the printer today, and it's quite dense. I print my stuff quite dense so that it doesn't really warp, and it stands the test of time, I guess, as best I can. But keep in mind, a lot of the parts are still delicate, like these hinges here and these little loops and all that on the door. So just keep that in mind. It is still plastic, but yeah, this print alone was about 18 hours. And then the doors are about another 8 or 9 or 10 or something. So a lot of printing, a lot of engineering went into this. Not to mention, I mean, this is kind of rare. I don't really think there's anything else out there like it. I think this looks a lot better than those Tamiya doors and door frames and bumper setup, because if you recall, the Reefer one's got that European style bumper, and the door's got those weird handles with the hooks on them or whatever. I don't really like them. I mean, to each his own, I guess, but they got all that hardware on the doors and all that, so I like these a lot better. I think it turned out really good. But like I was saying, the fabrication isn't, you know, it's not easy. I did have to zip off the entire back end, including this little aluminum channel here at the body, this bottom aluminum channel, and a bit of the frame there you see on the bottom, so that it's all nice and flush. And then I just 2-part epoxied the entire unit right to the back there. And I don't really have much of that footage of me installing this in that build series of these trailers, but just to share with you guys how I did it. That's, you know, I mean, there's no right or wrong way, but you know, it seemed to work pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's on there pretty good. It could probably take a good thump. But the bead is actually right on the inside there, that joint. You can't really see it, but anyway, just keep that in mind. It will come with these little bumper stops here. You can kind of see what I've done with mine. I painted them flat black and then honed out those holes a little more, but you'll get these things as well in this setup, and you can add those wherever you like. I mean, like I said, I had to use those lenses because I had printed the bezels on there, but yours will have the holes, so you can use those true scale RC lights. But yeah, if you want to add a little bumper stop to that side or to that side there, I mean, there's no real right or wrong way. Heck, if you even want to put 2 in there or 4 in there, that's fine too. But we can work those details out on my Facebook page. Just leave me a message. So yeah, I just want to show you guys the door handles as well, how those operate, because you know, they're probably the weakest link as well, with those little solder joints on there. So I'll put the phone down and I'll show you those as well, and then we'll go into the details of the other stuff. All right, so you got your door here. Here's the handle. The proper way to take them on and off is to first you want to stick it through that hole there, the top loop, feed it through nice and easy, and then into that loop, and there you go. So ideally, you don't want to really grab this handle by the end spot. It's probably the weakest link. At least try to grab it from the inside where the joint's a little stronger. And keep in mind too, once you paint these things, that, you know, you're gonna goop up these little loops, so it's not gonna slide as nice. So if you do decide to hone out these holes, be careful, because you could pop these little pieces off if you hone them out a little bit too much with a file or a drill bit or something. So just keep that in mind as well. You really want to take your time with these things because they are a little delicate. But anyway, that's how that goes in and out. And then just taking it out, same thing, just the reverse. And there you go. All right, so just continuing on here, the doors and door frames are done. Now we're on to these little bits here. As you guys know, I made a little fuel tank It turned out really good. I've sold a few of these little kits, and it's amazing what some guys have done. They've painted them different colors, and this is going to be another little thing that I'll offer as well. So this is how you're going to get it here, just as a little kit like that. The two end pieces, and then the bracket here. And this is what I did with mine. It turned out really good. I clear coated it, filled, sanded, painted, and then just added the little pinstripe taping to simulate that banding, and then glued it to the bracket, and then just installed it like that. CA glued it right to the bottom of the trailer there, and it's on there pretty good. So, and then I added that little doodad there to maybe look like a fuel gauge or something. So basically that's what you're going to do with this thing here. If you do decide to pick this up, if you're building a reefer trailer, you glue that side there to that, and that to that, like that, and then you know, I used some Tamiya putty, sanded a couple times, filled it again, and then glued the body to the bracket like that. CA glued it, and then the entire thing right to the trailer. So that's that piece there. Get rid of that there. These will also be available as well. Little wing plates, they call them. You usually see them on reefer trailers. Sometimes you see them on vans or flatbeds and stuff like that. But there you can see them on my trailer. Just, I guess it adds a little bit of support. I'm not exactly sure, but I try to recreate it as best I could. And just CA glued it to the side of the dolly legs there. And you can see on mine, I actually added a little handle. A little different than the handles that I make for the flatbeds where it has that little box part. Because this one here, the rod goes all the way through the hole and then to a rod all the way to the other side of the dolly legs. But anyway, these will be another little piece you can pick up as well. I printed them in black. I mean, you can paint them silver or whatever color you like. Another thing I want to mention here is this little dolly leg cross member piece. Didn't take much to print it, but I think it adds a lot of detail to the dolly legs. You usually see those little cross members on there, but I printed it so that it would fit nicely between the dolly legs, and it could be used on the flatbed trailer as well. So it fits in there fairly snug, but I just used a couple dabs of CA glue, and then that's on there. So those are done, those are done. And then the, you know, I'm gonna flick the light back on. Here's the little green indicator light box that you see on the driver's side of the front end of a reefer. So that's how you're gonna get that. I added a little piece of clear plastic to kind of give it a screen or something, or just kind of close that hole off. But basically, you know, when you got the reefer running, it goes that way there. And I wired a little green 3mm bulb into the angled aluminum piece there. And then I added that little piece of styrene on the side to give it a bit of detail. But of course the conduit or the wiring or whatever that is on the front of the trailer. So that turned out really good. That'll be another piece I'll offer as well. I mean, there's really not much to it, but if you do want to add that to your reefer trailer, that's an option. And then finally, the little air plate here, I can make these in gray or black. I mean, totally up to you. Let's walk around the trailer here just to show you what I'm talking about. You've seen it before on the build series, but this is what I did with mine. Of course, it's not going to come like that. I mean, you're going to be responsible for detailing it yourself, but I've added a few little holes on the corners here if you do decide to add some micro screws to it to give it a little more detail. But yeah, I can also add some little glad hands if you want to try to maybe make your own airlines as well, but that'll be a piece you can pick up as well and then mount that wherever you like, there or in the middle or whatever. Generally, they're kind of on the far end, because when the driver gets out, he doesn't have to crawl up there to attach the glad hands. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helps out, clarify some things. Here's the reefer trailer. I really like this thing. Put a lot of work into it, but hopefully this helps out, give you guys some ideas and maybe some inspiration to build your own reefer. So anyway, guys, that's it. Leave a comment down below. Like I said, I'll put a link to my Facebook page. I'm happy to answer any questions. Really, there's no stupid question because, like I said, everybody's skill level is a little different. So hopefully this helped out, guys. And other than that, we'll see you in the next video.